Welcome to the podcast series, Astha Unplugged. The purpose of this podcast is to help you express your highest potential as a leader. Whatever it is that holds you back in your leadership journey, let's dive straight into it. So, we'll bring in guests here who are leaders in their respective domains, and they are going to share perspectives from their life journeys. And these perspectives are going to help you get access and insights into your life journey. Yeah. So sit back and enjoy this week's episode on Astha Unplugged. Joining me today is not just academically very strong that he is. He has a very, very rich exposure across different institutions, including Harvard Business School, ISB Hyderabad, MDI Gurgaon, and many, many more. But also in 23 years of his leadership journey, he has proved his mettle. So he's an accomplished leader, a team player with Godrej Group. He's been with Hero Group, then JBM Group, also Wilmar Group, a lot of these organizations where, he has worked in varied roles, and he's very, very passionate about innovations, new ideas. He strongly believes in analytics-based decision-making, and he feels Industries 4.0 is the future. Very passionate about reading, leadership, strategy-related books, loves nature, and also loves playing table tennis. Yeah. This gentleman, Amit Saxena, please join me in welcoming him, is currently the Chief Information Officer of Ramco Plexus Limited, Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah. And today we are going to have a very, very powerful discussion. We're going to take from his rich experience of 23 years. Yes. So a very warm welcome, Amit. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Astha. And I think it's really a great platform for me as well to share my 23 year of experience. And again, would like to highlight, some of the snapshot in my career and some great learning, like, I work in India, I work in abroad, and 23 years is a long journey. Okay.
Absolutely.
And therefore I have to bring, a lot of idea, a lot of innovation thinking, and something, I'm always thinking in my mind, like nothing impossible in the world. And the moment you are thinking like this, powerful thought, then automatically things are coming in a positive manner. So I believe on God, I believe myself, and I always believe my team. So I always take care about three things in my mind whenever I'm starting new innovation of project, new business ideas, new collaboration with the team, and same time, like, I have a strong PR as well. So I'm meeting a lot of people, like, across the worldwide, like different country, different geography, different, market, I can say, like retail, FMCG, manufacturing, all the area. But I always thinking that, if you have a positive mindset and positive approach, then you will definitely achieve whatever you think in your mind. Okay. And your intention is also will be correct. Like whenever you are approaching the people, you have to think on a positive and open mindset.
Absolutely.
So,
I think very well said.
so I think my takeaway and in today's discussion, I would like to express some of the area where organization is struggling. Okay, and personally I feel that like on the ground, most of the time people are struggling relationship, people are struggling on adopting the new thing, people are struggling in influencing of the new idea, new project, all this area.
Yeah.
So I think we have to go one by one, because I just want to highlight 3-4 areas, because I feel strongly that these are the pillar of the organization. Okay. And if I can focus on this pillar in a proper approach way, positive approach and proper strategy mindset, then I think we have to go in the right path, right roadmap planning, and we'll bring the organization in the growth path as well, because some of the organization, they are struggling badly, in EBITDA, in top line growth, but they never focus where is the problem area. And the problem statement is very important.
Got it. So, which is where, our today's topic, very specific topic of discussion is adapting to different organizational structures, different organizational cultures, right? So we we begin by understanding what does it even mean, organizational culture, and why is it even important to really consider, adapt, spend time and effort into adapting to the culture? What is the impact? What are different ways of doing it? And then I think a little bit around, specifics of moving from a corporate to a family business setup that has been a big one for you, and maybe vice versa. How does it work? How the whole dynamics work? So I think that's going to be a very enriching discussion. So I want to begin by asking Amit that when people, lot of corporate people, executives, leaders, they move from one organization to the other as part of their career, and each organization has its own culture. So we quite often use this term culture. One. So first, I briefly want to understand from you, what does it even mean, different organizational culture? And then number two, why is it important to pay attention to the culture when I'm entering in an organization, no matter which level I am at? Yeah. Why do I need to think about the culture and adapting to it and all of that? So these two things, and then I'll take it on from there. Yes.
Sure. I think you're putting on the culture, because culture is, again, it's bringing the organization in the right path, right approach, right strategy. Okay. And culture is not like 1 or 2 day activity. Again, culture take a long journey.
Sure.
And when you're talking about culture, means each and every employee should be involved in that culture and behavior, okay, on the organization. So this will start from blue collar to management, to middle management, to senior management, all the team members across the organization. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about the culture, I think I just want to highlight, some of the key areas, like when I'm talking on micromanagement and when we are giving the empower. So I just example on that, because again, this example is my real time, real life example on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So micromanagement, some family business, they don't trust on the professional. They want to drive their own model. And when they drive their own model, they are going for a micromanagement level. So even in micromanagement, they have to guide for the payment. They are guiding for the strategy. They are guiding for the top line growth. The same thing when we are going in the corporate life, they are giving them power. They bring the professional on board, and they bring the professional, and then they start giving the empowering to support. Then you drive your top line growth, you drive your EBITDA, you drive your marketing strategy. So automatically the empower will start, the cultural change will start, and they are going in the growth pattern as well. So these are the, real time example when you're in family business and when you're going in corporate, and when you're comparing that why family business not going to success because of the micromanagement, and corporate they're growing 5x, 6x, 7x in certain period, and again they have some LRP planning, they have EOP planning, in that path. However, the family business, they don't have that clear mindset approach. Okay. And they always struggling. However, they are hiring consulting firm, they're taking the idea, they're taking the suggestion, but on the ground, they're not going to implement at all, because the micromanagement. And second thing, the trust. Like family business, they feel that no, I cannot trust for the professional because it's my own business. I have to drive myself. Okay. So this is something you can say like a comfort zone. They have in their comfort zone, like they want to drive. And when you are growing as a family business, you need a professional on board. So I think this is always a conflict, I can say, in between. And this comfort zone, they have to come out of that comfort zone, then automatically coming in the growth path.
Very well said. Yeah. So okay, for any organization or even an individual, the growth happens when you move beyond your comfort zone. Right.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Now the question that arises, Amit, is that for an individual, for a leader, when he gets into a family business setup, or he gets, like maybe you for that matter, and when he gets into a corporate setup, I'm using these names, but basically to denote the different philosophies or the mindsets that exist there. but when he gets into a family setup and then when he gets into a corporate setup, how would he adapt? These are two different, very different styles of working. And like you said, there's a lot of micromanagement here. The trust is not there. They don't want to get out of the comfort zone. They don't want the control to go. And corporate is more diversified control. So how does an individual, a leader, adapt? What is needed for him to adapt to these two different setups? An individual, a single person, when he's joining.
So as a single person, I think, the mindset is very open mindset. First of all, the approach, because when you are joining in the organization, when you are entering in the organization, you don't know about that culture and you don't know about anything in the organization.
Right.
You know about the name, about the business model. Okay. But the moment you enter in the organization, I think you have a very open mindset approach and you are ready to adopt the change management. Because the moment you're entering on the organization, there are a lot of change for you because you are
Yes.
going for the new people, new working culture, new process line, new business model. So therefore, your open mindset approach is very important. First
Okay.
point. Second, you have to have a very, flexibility. Like I can say, like a flexible in terms of approach and in terms of adoption. Like sometimes people are going to the organization and they stick on their principle. Like they don't want to change. They are thinking that no, I will change the organization. Okay. But this is not the right approach, I feel, because you are a single person and there are more than 100 people out there in the organization.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, of course, we have to change. We have to add our value. Whatever I learned, whatever they learned, they have to start, giving that value addition day by day, week by week, month by month. But if you feel from the day one, you want to change everything, practically it's not possible. And that's the reason people, most of the time, people are going to failure, when they are going to change in the day one, they start resistance on that change. And the moment they are going to start resistance on the change, they are going in a different zone completely. So there is a one is the acceptance zone, second is a non-acceptance zone. Okay. In between, there is a mid zone. So always, if you see when the people are going, the first impression, like, normally this is a comment, first impression and the last impression. So first impression, when you are flexible, when you are ready to accept the change, when you are open mind approach, people will adapt to you very fast, Asta. And this is my experience. When I ever joined in the new organization, in case like whenever I'm speaking, I'm very open. I'm just proper, discussing on the change and understanding the problem. But I'm not going to conclude immediately and I'm giving the direction, no, you have to apply this. No, this is not the right way to work. You have to learn, you have to understand. Based on that, you have to prepare your plan, and that plan must be aligned with the business goal set. That plan is not your individual plan.
Yeah.
Because individually you are not going to win. You have to win as a team. You have to win as a organization goal. So therefore, your approach will be making as per the plan of the business. And then you are going for collaboration with the team and business. And then automatically the acceptance will start. Okay. And then you are going to, mix up with the team. And then your journey is going very smooth, practically, because you are not having any resistance over there then, because people know that this guy is very open, they are ready to change, they know resistance over there. Okay. And then your journey is more professional, more acceptance, and people will start supporting you also on the ground.
Got it.
Because most of the time people are struggling in the starting because they have their mindset approach completely. And they
Yes.
don't want to listen properly. Like they want to know, no, I have done this job in my last company and I have to go straight forward and implement something, okay, on the ground. So practically it's not possible. Like you have to start thinking, you have to start learning, you have to understand the current situation on the ground. Then only you make your strategy on that view. So this is just my view on that point.
Got it. Amit, so a very interesting thing that you said, and I see this very commonly with many leaders who say that, I'm struggling in when it comes to relationships at work, and they say that, oh, they don't include me, or they don't listen to me. I feel like an outcast. Nobody supports me. Nobody tells me how things will be done. And I can't tell you how many people say that. I don't feel valued. I'm not acknowledged for my work. And they are, every single day they are sulking. And when they are sulking, actually creation तो हो ही नहीं रहा है फिर आप
Correct.
विक्टिम बनकर रह गए हो, और आप पूरे
Correct.
वही ड्रामा रोज रन कर रहे हो, और
Correct.
खुद भी पेन में हो, प्लस वहां प्रोडक्टिविटी पे इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है. लेकिन
Correct.
सो अमित, जब हम इस बारे में बात करते हैं, एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट दिस एस्पेक्ट, देन what is missing here? I mean, there could be certain cases jahan actually there are difficult people and maybe you need to take a call there. But most of the times, what do you see is repeating here with such leaders that you will want to advise them कि ये इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि maybe certain things that you said, that in the beginning you need to kind of mingle with people, understand, listen more. And it is maybe that I'm just so holding on to my own beliefs.
So Atta, I think you are really hitting the practical example here. Like
Yeah.
people are complaining like they're not involving, they're not valued, they're not, in giving the importance in the meeting.
Yeah.
But understand this thing, like why? Because they are leader first of all, and
They are?
leader have to involve.
They're the
They are leader.
Mm.
They are a leader, and leader is not like a spoon feeding. Like I
Mhm.
have to create my importance. I have to give that business idea. I have to start conversation, open conversation. Like because sometimes I'm just putting myself in a different situation
Yes.
and different level where people don't want to involve me. Like for example, I'm more negative person. I'm just giving example.
Sure, sure.
Like I'm more negative person, okay,
Yeah.
and I'm always thinking, something which is not possible, like So now, if I'm talking this thing again and again, then all my surrounding area, like people think, oh, this person is very negative, like why I should involve these people, So these are the area when people are having a psychological, this is again mindset approach,
Yeah.
okay. So for my importance, for my value, we have to create yourself. Like you have to create yourself. I have to create myself. Each and every individual, they have a quality, and they have to think about the direction that how they can create their value in the system. Okay. When you are creating the value in the system, it does not mean you are individual. You have to create the value for the organization. And the moment the organization will understand, yes, this is the right approach, this is the right strategy, this is the right time, okay, for this particular initiative, then automatically your involvement, your value, your importance will start from there onwards. But most of the time, people want, very reserved. I don't know, means I feel myself like in my company, like we have very diversified group, and some people are very much reserved. Sometimes people are very open to discussion. Like even they don't know that problem, they don't know that business model, but
Yes.
still they want to discuss openly and giving some idea, and that idea will help business to solve the big problem. So I think that is the approach. I can say what is the right approach, what is the right mindset, and again, you have to think, out of the box. It's not like I'm a technology guy and I don't know marketing. I'm a technology guy, I don't know production. So sometimes people are thinking, no, this is not my area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then later on they realize, oh my God, but the other R&D guy, they're involving in IT as well, because that guy is open for discussion and open for solution. So I think this is the real-time example. I feel myself that if you are open discussion and if you are involving yourself for the problem and for the issue, then automatically your importance, your value will definitely improve in the organization level.
Lovely. That's very powerful. Yeah. So I think just a while back, you talked about the values, organization's values, and when you enter in an organization, adapting to the culture there. So whatever the values are, align yourself. Don't be so rigid. No, this is my way, so I'm going to do it this way only. Align, right? Be flexible, right?
Correct,
Now,
correct.
my question here, Amit, is what is where do you draw that line when it comes to flexibility or rigidity, where, okay, this is, here I can be flexible and this I cannot compromise with. So what is that, framework within which, how should people operate there, and what goes missing? And maybe you can talk from your example of maybe if that was a situation that you were ever faced with. Yes.
Yeah, sure, Asta. So again, this basically is coming with the example. Okay,
Yes.
like example, and somehow you have to control your conflict. The boundary is coming based on your conflict management. And
Mm-hmm.
second thing, you have to your framework, like framework in terms of this is the right, this is wrong.
Mm.
Second thing, the moment you are giving the example, when you are in discussion mode with
Mm.
your senior leader, your colleague, and you are giving the right example with the value, with that proposition, okay,
Yes.
then people always ready to understand that. Okay,
Mm.
they are not rigid on that. They are ready to understand. But if you are not giving that detail, if you are not explaining with the example, so again, this is another example of the leadership, leading by example, not
Mm.
leading by in the like discussion. Okay, I'm telling you to do this.
Mm.
Okay, the moment you are going like I'm telling you to do this,
Mm.
this is going to conflict, and he is not going to accept at all. Okay, and
Mm.
this is the boundary actually. So when you are going to explain, please explain with the example and benefits. Okay, what exactly you are going to explain. The moment you are explaining with example and the business benefit, then adoption will start
Mm.
automatically. Okay, and then if something is coming, let's say sometimes happen, even you are giving the example, you are giving the business benefit, even the you are giving all the 360-degree framework,
Yeah.
but still people are not able to ready to accept your ideas. Okay, now therefore what happened, there is a conflict start.
Mm.
Okay, so you have to cool down again. This is another situation for the leadership, like you have to cool down, don't react immediately, just patience, and park this meeting for next day, yeah, next
Mm.
week. Because
Mm.
the time management is also another leadership skill. Okay,
Mm.
if you are giving 1 week time, in between that guy might be asked somebody else, and when you are discussing the next week, that guy automatically will going to accept ki, no boss, you are right, I think I was wrong. Okay,
Mm.
so
Mm.
and you are also giving the respect, because the moment is coming conflict, and
Yeah.
respect is the value. Okay. So the moment you are showing the respect, show respect. So I have learned this value, when I was in Godrej. So always show respect, even you are going in conflict. Okay.
Mm.
So don't react. Like what happened most of the time, people are conflicting and they are not ready to accept, any common idea. They start reacting
Mm.
immediately. The moment reaction will start, then whatever you done in the past is going zero, and
Yeah.
your relationship is also going in a different zone. That zone will never come as a mid zone.
Mm. So, Amit, would
So
you also agree? Some people will, they will start to say what they want to say. There'll be conflict, like a maybe an argument, a discussion, or some. And then there is this other set of people who will go silent. Maybe they will not speak. So because he's my
but
boss,
silent, yeah,
because he's my
but silent
boss.
is not the right approach. Asta,
Yeah,
sorry,
so
sorry.
pretty much. But
Uh,
then they are in their own head. I'll go silent once, and then I keep going silent every time, and I keep reinforcing that belief. Okay, Amit is my boss. He doesn't listen to me. See, again, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't, and I go so given up. Then that I spoil that whole chemistry with my boss. That just because I've gone silent, and in my own head, I'm cooking my own stories and I'm living with those stories, whereas who knows what the reality is. So yes, there are both kinds of people that I've, both leaders have come across, somebody who will say, I just go and react and I just can't control that. I just speak what I have to speak. And there's this other bunch who say, no, I'm not speaking. Why are you not speaking? Why don't you go and have a discussion? No, there's no point. He's biased.
true.
He doesn't listen to me.
Yeah, very true, Asta. So, Asta, you are giving a right example, like silent. You are right. And even in my team, I have
Yeah,
a very, again, diversified team in every
sure.
country, and all the people, and every people have a different mindset, as you know that
Right.
it's not the same thing. So, like as a leader, it's your responsibility to do a one-on-one meeting with the
Hmm.
person who is silent. See,
Hmm.
silent is again, it's not a, you can say like a comfort zone. This is like a serious problem for you as well. So,
Yeah,
like you have
absolutely.
to start discussing one-on-one and
Hmm.
understand what is the concern in the backside, what exactly the problem. Okay,
Yeah.
and giving the, you know, the platform where he can speak, where he can put all the problem on the table.
Hmm.
Okay, because if you're not giving the space of the team, that is again the problem. Like that is a Hitler boss. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you how to do this, but
Yes.
you have to engage with your team with the correct, approach, with correct mindset. Okay, so that don't feel that there is a boss, there is a leader, and there is a friends. Okay, like
Sure.
I'm doing some, weekly, fortnightly, some pizza parties, some snacks, something. So why we are doing this? Because
Hmm.
this is a casual meeting. When people are
Hmm.
open to speak, if something there in their heart, they can speak. Because if you are not giving that space and you are giving just initiative, project, and all the other activities, you will not get that output which you are expecting,
Sure.
because team is on the board, like they are the one, they are executing the project.
Yeah.
And if they are executing the project with very heavy heart, okay, and
True.
something is there, and they don't want to speak openly, and they are silent when in the meeting, it's not good for you as a leader. And this is
Hmm.
again a toxic environment. I can link this to the toxic environment. Like on the
Yeah.
backside, people are talking like this boss and this organization is very toxic and that culture is not good. A lot of complaint is coming from there.
Oh, absolutely.
So therefore, it's your responsibility, and it's your job to ensure that each and every team member is fully engaged. When I'm
Hmm.
talking fully engaged, means 100% accountability,
Hmm.
0% excuse. Okay, that is the terminology which we are using.
Sure.
And if there is any something, is going in silent mode, yeah, sometimes they are ignoring also. Asta,
Right.
I don't know. This is another symptom. Like you
Yeah.
are sending a meeting request and they are not accepting. Yeah,
Hmm.
they are giving some excuse that I'm not well. Yeah, I have something else.
Right.
So you have, as a leader, you have to start monitoring. You have to start watching what is
Yeah.
going wrong in my team. Why they are not
Um,
coming on that,
But
in the proper.
Amit, absolutely. I mean, that's as a leader, you do that, and you make sure you're very consciously working on that for your team. And I'm sure there are many leaders who do that. But then there is a segment of leaders who don't do that, and that's also
True.
there. So when you're working with such a leader, where you can see that there is a gap. I have a gap with my boss, with my manager, and he's not approaching me, he's not sitting down and having a conversation with me. What do you think I should do in that situation?
So, Asta, I think there are a couple of approach I can say here.
Hmm.
As a peer, as a peer, as a colleague, we can give the suggestion to the
Sure.
team. Okay, even through HR, we can intervention on that area. But you know, I feel some in some area it's not straightforward. You give the intervention, like something is coming with the HR, or something is coming with the team. Even sometimes team is going to open discussion as well from their bosses. Okay, so my approach, like casually you can guide with your colleague and with your peer, but
Hmm.
when you are talking in officially on the ground, then sometimes there is a superiority complex in the world.
Hmm.
Okay, this is
Hmm.
going to create the relationship between you and your peer, and they
Hmm.
starting, no, you are teaching me. It means I don't know how to lead the people. I don't know
Hmm.
how to handle the team. I know.
Hmm.
So that is the reason, my most of the time I put it this through HR. So I'm supporting to HR, the senior management team, that I think this area you can focus, might be in some workshop, in some training. Okay, and
Oh,
common workshop also is important, like where you have a cross functional
sure.
discussion with the different function, and one function is doing well, they have to transfer knowledge transfer with that, full
Hmm.
sets to the
Hmm.
other function. I think this is you can say like a transformation journey. Okay, but
Hmm.
if you are going directly, it might be conflicting somehow.
So
So
what you're saying,
that is my.
Amit, is if you're doing directly, which means so you're saying in such a scenario where your boss is there's a gap there and boss is not kind of approaching it in a certain way, you get somebody else to intervene, which means HR or is that what you're saying? Intervene in an indirect way, not between the two of you, but like you said, maybe to focus on certain interventions, coaching interventions or workshops where for the leadership or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just correcting a little bit here.
Okay.
So so for the boss, I think you have a confidence enough. You can go and speak yourself if something is happening.
If the boss has to speak.
Yeah, if your voice is not speaking to you, then you have to go. You take that.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So you have to walk up to your boss and go and talk.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
But a lot of people do not do that.
Correct.
They sit in that shell that, oh, he's not doing and he's not doing it with me.
Correct.
So then you just keep sulking, isn't it?
Correct.
You've got to take charge and go and talk to him.
Right.
Like, I think what I loved when you said was spoon feeding. That it's not you can't expect everything to be served to you on a golden plate. Make efforts. If it's not happening,
and give the example where you feel yourself in terms of any concern, any particular topic which you don't like, something in the discussion. So give that example, to your bosses. And even in my personal life, I think I have done this journey like 10 years before. I faced some challenge, and I was ready to discuss in the open, with my bosses that yes, let's speak. I need to one-on-one meeting with you. Even I started requesting to my bosses like, let me have a one-on-one meeting. Then they are agreed, yes, because sometimes boss is also very transparent. Sometimes they don't understand. Sometimes intention is not that.
Behind them. And there may be 1,000 things playing on their head. Exactly. They may be going through so many things.
Correct. So there is no intention. The moment you are reminding them, this is the area, boss, I don't like, they will note it down. Even they say, no, Amit, I understand. Next time I will take care on this. Okay. And sometimes they accept their fault in their straightforward. They say, sorry, I think maybe I did some mistake. I did some wrong steps over here. You can you can go ahead. Please do this, something like that. So then, your confidence will going to increase further, and your respect for your boss also, it will improve a lot.
Sure.
Like, you are thinking like, my boss is very open and very transparent and giving me the empowerment, like, yes, they accept the mistake as well. Yeah. So this is again the cultural change on that.
Absolutely. Amit, any instance in your life which was the most difficult, I would say, if I have to use the word, difficult kind of a scenario in terms of a cultural change, and how you, like on the ground, how you adapted to it, how you navigated through it. So if you can tell that, okay, this was difficult, and then this is what I did, something like that, which is why I'll tell you the context of me asking this question, because while we talk a lot of concepts and things, but a lot of people, corporate executives, are so given up कि ये नहीं हो सकता, ऐसा ही रहेगा, ऐसे ही चलेगा. When you go to organization, bosses are like that, colleagues are like that, there cannot be good relationships, superficial होते हैं सारे relations. So people are living with that, and I just want to tap into that part. We're not giving ज्ञान to people, but we are, through you, leaders like you, the whole idea is आपने कैसे किया, और अगर आप कर सकते हो तो फिर कोई कर सकता है इसे. That's the whole idea. So
no, I think it's a good question, and I would definitely to add, my experience in terms of my journey. So, when I was in India, like 2009, if you remember, there is a recession time, global recession.
Absolutely.
In 2009. Yes. And that time, people are losing their job. And I got the opportunity in Bilmar Group in Africa in 2009.
Got it.
So I resigned JBM and I moved to Africa. Okay. Now, Africa and India, they are totally different. In terms of people, in terms of organization, in terms of working culture. People, when you are talking about Africa and India, people are thinking, oh, Africa, it's not safe, it's not this, it's not that, But even in my family also, they are giving me that you are working in JBM, it's a big group, you are working good here and here, why you are going there. And and my marriage also like 1 year old, my marriage as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So like everywhere, like my wife side, my personal side, there are a lot of challenge over there. Okay.
Right.
Now again, I was thinking, in my mind that maybe I'm going in the right approach, right direction. Yeah, maybe they are telling me the right approach. Like no, maybe I'm doing a wrong decision in my career.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
I have to rethinking. Okay. Then, uh, frankly speaking, that time there is no mentor, no proper experience in terms of people can guide you. Like okay, they are
Sure.
from Africa, and you don't have that much of network in Africa as well, because for
Yeah,
me Africa is also new completely.
absolutely. Yeah.
Then I feel like okay, let me try some risk in my life. Okay, we'll see how we can handle this situation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
and finally we decided, look, let's move on that. Okay,
Hmm.
and when I join in Africa, I start, first 6 months of the very struggle on the ground. Like people are not that much strong, that much speed, on the ground, which I was in India, people are very fast, they're moving, the approach is very different.
Yeah.
Okay. In
Yeah.
Africa, people are very slow. If I can compare the speed, Africa speed, 40% in compared to India people.
Okay.
So
Yes.
40% speed you are driving the project, and you are controlling your feeling and you are controlling your emotion. It's not easy. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then sometime I feel okay, maybe I have done the wrong decision. Then I again change myself. Okay, let me try
Hmm.
differently.
Hmm.
Okay. So I try differently and I improve these people 40 to 60%,
Hmm.
approach on this thing.
Hmm.
Then slowly they also understand my expectation, my approach, my mindset as well. Okay. Then after 6 months, we are going 70-75%. Okay.
Hmm.
And then we achieve all my initiative in first year and second year. And then I got another opportunity, and now last 14 years I'm in Africa. I'm just giving you an example.
Right.
Okay. And I have drive my journey from IT manager to CIO journey. Okay.
Yes.
And with Godrej company, with family business, South Africa, Kenya, all this geography. Okay. And different people. So now I'm very, flexible to adopt the new organization, new people, because this
Hmm.
learning is really helping me a lot, that there is no challenge. Like if you are open to accept the change,
Yeah.
accept the adoption, accept the acceptance as well, there is nothing impossible in the world. I think you can
And
work
that's
from
that's where the growth is. Not
that's where the
you don't become a CIO just like that. You've got to
exactly.
work for it. Yes.
Yeah, even in Godrej, I got award, every year. Even they just called leading self, leading business, leading others. So
Right.
these are the three major pillars, in Godrej. So leading self means you have to lead yourself first.
Hmm.
Then leading business, you have to
Hmm.
drive the business as well, like supporting with peers, supporting with your bosses, all this.
Yes.
Then leading others. When we are talking about others, it's coming peer, it's coming your team members, all these things. So I think the moment you have a positive approach, the moment you are thinking that yes, I can manage these things, there's nothing wrong in that. Okay. And when you have a positive approach, people will start loving you in your
Hmm.
surrounding area.
Yeah.
When you are trying to make a distance on the people, you feel that people are also making distance from you.
Hmm.
This is not something which you are thinking that okay, I know everything. Now
Yeah.
people can come to me and
Yeah.
I will teach people. And this is
Hmm.
not the right approach even. So you have to go, you have to guide, make a friendship in a different geography. Then
Hmm.
automatically your adoption will improve. Even across Africa, we have a strong networking. Dubai and
Hmm.
South Africa, Kenya. Most of the firm, they know me, they know my name in different platform. Okay. But you have to open mindset approach.
Hmm.
So this is my learning from how we can,
Yeah.
transform from India to Africa culture, and in
Yeah.
a very challenging environment. I can tell you, very
Yeah.
challenging environment.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure.
it's not
Yeah.
easy at
So,
all.
so Amit, would you agree? As I'm listening to you, what comes to my mind that essentially when you're moving from one culture to other culture, it's a game of people management. It's basically a different set of as in you have human beings everywhere, and the way these human beings are operating, because they have been conditioned to do, every organization or every country has a conditioning history which is coming from their owners, or a country has its own legacy. So it's come. So these people are so conditioned to doing it that way. So it is, and if you get into that, essentially it is about connecting with those people. And once you
Correct.
connect with those people, then systems, processes and all, it happens over time. It's not as much about, अरे मैं ऐसे करता हूँ तो मैं तो ऐसे ही करूँगा. If you can connect with somebody, over time, मैं ऐसे करता हूँ, शायद comfortable भी हो जाए. People may not mind
Correct.
that, you know.
Exactly. No, you are absolutely right, Astha.
Yeah.
Like, you have to give the right approach.
Right.
Sometimes they don't know this thing. See, one you can say like one formula maybe work in a different way.
Yeah.
So now one formula, if you are working only one way, then
Yeah.
people have a mind block here
Right.
completely. Like they're not thinking out of the box. But you have a different approach.
Yeah.
And that's the reason as a leader, you have to lead with the example.
Hmm.
Okay. When you are giving the example, they will understand very well, and they start, adopting this change in their culture. And again, I'm just correcting you one more area. It's not only people, Asta. When you are going in a different geography, a different, organization, it's like
Sure.
a 360-degree of the organization. Like
Mm-hmm.
people, environment, culture, and everything is going to involve, even external stakeholder. Okay. So I'm just giving one more example.
Yes.
Like there is a 360-degree feedback. If you heard about that, people 360-degree feedback. So
Yes.
even I was when I was in like last company, they are always doing every year 360-degree feedback, and that feedback they're openly discussed with the employee.
Yeah.
There is no hiding in between. So area of improvement, area of strength, and they have to cover up stakeholder like external stakeholder like supplier, customer. So your behavior, your relationship, not only within your organization,
Absolutely.
your
Yep.
relationship is always going out of the organization as well.
Yes.
What about your supplier? What about your customer talking about you?
Yeah.
Because you are a character. You are not a only person which driving on the organization. So again, these degree will improve your performance, improve your strength, your weakness convert in the strength. So this journey is not like a 1 year, 2 year. This journey like 10 year, 12 year to go and improve and further improvement, and then you have to drive in a professional manner on that.
Wow, 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 wow. These were so many nuggets. And what I'm understanding essentially is that it's it's a journey. You're constantly evolving, and as you move along, and it's a game of mindset. So adapting to a culture is about relationships, which means starting with your relationship with yourself. So which means what's going on here every time. And that will drive me whether I'll go and talk to people, mingle, try to adjust, all of that. So it's about my relation with myself. In fact, risk taking is also part of my relation with myself. And then that will reflect in my relationships outside. Yeah. So a lot of powerful points that you made. I'll quickly summarize. And if I miss out something, Amit, please add on. And then I would want you to give like your last word for all the audiences. So I think what you spoke about is that the one term that you used, comfort zone, where you said whether it is an individual or an organization, you cannot sit back in your comfort zone. So whether you have to transition from a family business to a more, you want to scale up, then you need to get out of your comfort zone. It may not be comfortable to give control to others, but you have to do it. So things like that. And at individual level also, I may be used to operating in a certain way. I need to get out of my comfort zone and adapt, which is, I think, fundamental to organizational cultures, different cultures. And then you spoke about how do you do that? Karen kaise ab usko? To aapne kaha, be open-minded. That approach is very important. You spoke about being flexible. Where can I be? Kahin mein bahut rigid to nahi ho raha hu. I'm just hooked on to that. So can I be flexible in the beginning and just understand, listen, reach out to people, try and understand. And then whatever I create, it has to be in alignment with the organizational goal. I'm not running my personal agenda there. So that's the other thing that you spoke about. And very important, which I also talk about in my masterclass, Amit, and that is value creation. Organization values you in direct proportion to the value that you create for the organization. and if I'm not focused on value creation, I'm just running my agenda, just defeats the purpose. So you said everywhere, think of what value am I creating, and is it in
Correct.
sync with the organization? From day one, if you are on that agenda, I want to change everything. No, this is not suiting me. Maybe I made the wrong decision, won't work. So try and adapt, and eventually you'll find the right balance. Certain things will work your way, certain you will learn to adapt to, So
True.
I think that's like a nice balance. And then you also spoke about, so, and then the acceptance starts. Then you spoke about, I just love that one thing, which just so beautifully brings out the whole essence, which is spoon feeding. Like you're not a little child there that, your boss needs to nurture you. And yes, there are certain practices which are good, which a boss must do, which a colleague must do. I'm using the word must still, but if I am expecting everybody to behave a certain way with me, then I'm practically looking at being spoon fed. And if that's not happening, I'm disappointed. So
True.
don't look at that. Go and create. You create that for yourself. Yeah. And figure out what's your quality. So you're very right. There's so many leaders who will sit down and sulk. Oh my God, I'm not being valued. And if you ask them, what should you be valued for? What's that USP? What do you bring to the table? They don't know. They don't know. So you don't even know what that uniqueness is, that quality is that you bring to the table. So figure that out and use that to create that value. Like you become indispensable for the organization. They say that I don't want to let you go, kind of a thing, So yeah. So you said the whole approach and the mindset is one word that you used, which is very important. Being open, getting involved. You also spoke about conflict management, that, it's very important to not react, be mindful, and it's okay to not be obsessed with resolving everything right now. Abhi hona chahiye. It's okay to park it. Sometimes if emotions are building up, charge बढ़ रहा है, तो रोक दो. Let's talk about it tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow would be a better discussion and then solution. And that's coming from your experience. So yes, I think that's very powerful. And I think another thing which I love, where we are so conditioned as human beings to blame. ये मेरी मिजरी का कारण ये है. हम ये भूल जाते हैं फंडामेंटली हम सब कनेक्ट करना चाहते हैं. So I really loved what you said, that if you approach, you get out of your comfort zone, you will sometimes realize people are willing to listen. They are willing to listen, but maybe you don't go and talk. बॉस को आना चाहिए. अगर बॉस नहीं आ रहे हैं तो मेरी जिम्मेदारी मैं ले सकता हूं ना. तो कैन आई गो एंड टॉक टू द बॉस? सो गेट अप एंड गो, टेक चार्ज. I think that is amazing. What you spoke about, taking risk. So there are n number of people who want to grow, they want to go up the corporate ladder. पर उसके साथ जो risk लेनी है, जो courage चाहिए, जो lot of kachra that I'm carrying, which I need to drop off. I don't want to look at that. And so many people who don't want to do that. And I think that's very powerful, where you said that when you shifted, you had all those thoughts. Galat to nahi kar diya, kaise karunga? 6 mahina, you said I was like kind of lost. India, Africa, everybody was saying that to you. But you decided and you were willing to do that work. And I think that took you to 1 year later, implementing initiatives and then growing, and then 14 years is what it is now. So I think those were some of the very powerful things. और I think आपने जो चीजें बोली उसमें कई सारी बहुत छोटी चीजें भी छुपी हुई हैं, which I'm sure a lot of listeners and viewers will be able to relate with wherever they are in their journey. What would you want to, if there's anything that I missed out, you may want to add that? Or
I just want to add, Asta, 1 minute on this blame, because it's a really interesting point which you highlighted here, blame.
Yes.
You blame him and blame something. So I just want to give you one very strong approach here, because I have learned something here, 2P concept. So 2P means process and people. Whenever you feel the issue, you're highlighting this people issue. But if you can deep dive, there is no people issue, there is a process issue. And we never focus on the process. We are blaming the people because this marketing strategy is not right, because Mr. So and so had done this.
Yeah.
But if you can deep dive, then you realize maybe this BTL activity is not the right time. So the right process is not set for that. So the
Okay.
approach should be process specific, not people specific. The moment organization will understand this, let's focus on the process, not people. Don't put on the blame on the people. Okay. Then automatically this blame game, this complaint, this will automatically going out. Okay. Because my mindset is going to put on the people, not process. So
Yeah.
I think this is the area we have to work further. And most of the time organization is more focused on the people, like because decision is coming from people. But again, it's based on the process. Okay.
Yeah, very, very well said. Yes. So I
Yeah.
think that's a
For example,
powerful
like NPD.
distinction.
Yeah. For NPD launch, new
Ah,
product development. So
yes,
NPD, if you're launching on NPD in the Diwali festival, for example,
right.
okay, for FMCG, and Diwali is the right time. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the same thing you're launching in the monsoon season. Okay. Now your strategy is wrong,
Hmm.
and the same person is doing the same strategy, right?
Hmm.
So the
Yeah.
idea is back end, like it's not a people, it's like a process, it's timing, it's the strategy, okay, it's wrong.
Sure.
So let me
Oh,
we have to focus on that direction instead of people, instead of blame game on that.
I think that's very powerful. If we can make that distinction, not people, process, can we focus on that? So I think
Exactly.
great, great, great. So Amit, what would you want to end with? What's your last big message for people who move from one culture, from one organization to the other, and they deal with this cultural issues? What's that one message you want to leave them with to conclude?
So I think it's important to people have a clear approach in terms of the expectation, like right expectation to have to set down. And then the second point, which I feel that nothing impossible in the world. I think this is, approach is very important and very strong,
Yeah.
statement. Whenever you think about that, I want something here.
Yeah.
But if you have a clear mindset, clear approach,
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
and clear direction, then you can achieve anything in your life, okay. But you have a
Sure.
clarity on that thought. Second, and sorry, third one, the intention is always a positive intention. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want to harm the people. I want this, but I want to harm for other people. If you have such type of intention, you will not get that thing.
Hmm.
So your intention is a positive, your intention in the right manner, okay, then definitely you will achieve this thing. And then
Hmm.
you have to go on the value like respect, integrity, honesty. Again, this is, you have to improve as a people, as a character, characteristic further in yourself. The
Yeah.
moment you have to go for this three direction. So
Yeah.
overall, I think if you have this approach, then you will achieve whatever you want in your life cycle.
Wow.
So this is the point which I want to highlight here.
Great. Lovely. Thank you so much, Amit. Thank you for your time. And I really believe everybody who's listened to it, you may want to listen it, once you've listened to it, go back, listen to it and note down your points. There's a lot of value in here. Thank you so much, Amit. And in the comments, you will have the LinkedIn handle of Amit as well, in case, you can follow him and also bring in some questions that you have from what you heard. And Amit, would you be okay answering those if there are people who have some questions and they want you to answer? Would that be okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you can, in the comments below, you can just put in your questions and we'll ensure that they reach Amit and then he can answer those. So do that. But what is most important, the idea of bringing these talks to you is that you go about implementing certain things. So don't just feel good and sit down with it, but go ahead and implement. Yep. Lovely. Thank you so much, Amit. And
Thank you, Asta.
pleasure having you here.
Yeah, same here, Asta. Thank you very much for your time, and it was really nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.